Hello, Gemini. Okay, welcome to your December 1st through 15th soul session. I am Marlo. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and whatnot or whatever. We have cards flipping out like bananas. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into you guys' cards. So first card out, we have the Chariot. That is Cancerian energy. Then we have the Hermit in the reverse, that is Virgo energy. And next we have the Seven of the Cuppies. So what is this looking like, Gemini? Coming out of November into December, there is a desire to, how do I want to say this out of my mouth? I was trying to say two different things, but it's more or less going forward with the good and the bad. It feels like a level of acceptance that my Geminis have come to in the latter part of November. It could be the midpoint towards the latter part of November, coming into December, but it's more or less taking the good with the bad and desiring to move forward. However, the next card being the Hermit in the reverse, for me, this card is a statement of repeating past mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But with the Seven of Cups in the reverse, it's more or less you being pretty clear of where it is that you want to go moving forward, what you want to do moving forward. However, with it being in its shadow aspect, aka reverse, I feel more or less the place that you're coming from making this decision isn't necessarily from the best place. I've said for a lot of signs prior to you guys that I'm seeing this pervasive pattern of like fear-based kind of energy. So it's more or less coming into the month with the perspective of what everyone else is doing is like wanting to get out of the situation that you're in. So it's not necessarily being comfortable with where you are or feeling as if where you are is out of alignment with you or it's tumultuous. It's whatever, it's not in alignment with you. So you want to get out of it and go to the next best thing. So it's kind of like this mindset coming into the month of like, oh, where it is that, I'm at, it's not for me. Like, this isn't where I belong, whatever. So it's like, I'm going to go ahead and move forward to like the next best thing. Right. But with the Hermit in the reverse, it's saying that, kind of leaving this situation is repeating the same pattern. And like I've been telling everyone, the month of December is giving everyone like a front row seat to the karmic lesson that's been intended for all of us to learn for the entire year. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot or whatever. So it's kind of a certain way of handling things or approaching things or responding to things that I feel like has lasted up to this point. And what I've seen for every sign prior to yours, it's kind of like hopping out of one thing into another. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, whether that's like relationships where it's like, you're in a relationship with one person, it doesn't work out, you break up with them, and then you hop into another relationship, doesn't work out with them, so you hop into another relationship, or you're going job to job. Okay, that's a lot of cards that came out. Or you're going job to job. It's more or less that one solution for, oh child, you gotta be kidding me. One solution for their problems is going to what seems to be the next best thing. So next card that came out, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Six of Swords, we have the Five of the Cuppies, that was quick, and then we have the Seven of Swords. You guys know my interpretation on that is what you skip will trip you up later. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that's where this Five of Cups comes from. So legit, this is moving pretty quick. Okay, 1st through 15th. So the first week of December is you guys coming in from November and it's wanting to get out of this situation. You're like, I'm taking the good with the bad. I'm moving forward, right? But I feel that there's something that's been forgotten here. The thing that I would, interject my hunch of what it is that's forgotten is the lesson, right? It's like whatever it is that you guys are coming out of, what did you really learn from it? You know what I'm saying? And whatever conclusion you came to with what it is that you're escaping would be the proper word for it. It's like there's a need to go into this hermit energy in the light aspect as opposed to the dark aspect, because it's saying you've gotten the same conclusion from this situation that you have with several situations prior to, right? So let's be hypothetical. So sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, get started today with BetterHelp. Now let's get back to the show. To make this make sense. So let's say like every relationship that you've been in, you always, get cheated on, right? And your walk away, so you gave a relationship a chance and the person cheats on you again. So your takeaway from this situation is, what it's always been. It's like, I don't know why I keep trying. Relationships just aren't for me. I don't know why I keep, thinking this is going to be different with another person. Like, I just should never, be in a relationship, right? Because that's what life is telling me, right? So it's in November, hypothetically, you're in a situation like that. So now in December, you're like, new year, new me. I'm about to focus on myself, like da 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 da, right? Now, even though your intention is to move forward with the Hermit in the reverse, it's like this is secretly like, someone who is in your horse and carriage that you don't know is there. You know what I'm saying? Like this is someone that you're taking with you to this proverbial next cycle, if you will. Now, why all of these soul sessions are coming out in December that way is so that doesn't happen, because it's almost like having a stowaway, and you don't want this as a stowaway into this new cycle that we're going into. Because like I've been telling everyone, 2023 is a very karmic year. And if you think that you saw consequences for actions this year, child, you don't want to see them next year. So self-awareness is of utmost importance. Learn these lessons, my Gemini friends. Anywho, moving right along. But with the Seven of Cups in the reverse, like I said, it'll seem very clear to you the path to follow through. And I feel even more so going into the second week of December with this Ace of Cups. It's an opportunity that shows up that I feel kind of helps up for this decision that was made. But mind you, this decision is being made from the perspective of repeating a past mistake. So it's the thought of, if I want a better job, I need to quit this one because my boss is jealous. I used a similar analogy like this last month. That's like, my boss is jealous of me. My bosses always be jealous of me. You know what I'm saying? Right? So it's like, instead of learning what the lesson was and facing that shadow aspect of yourself, because that is the dynamic for this month, apparently, is all these shadow aspects that we're projecting onto others and things of the sort. So you leave the job and it's like, the belief is like, okay, because I'm moving forward, because I want something new, it's like Spirit's going to send me an opportunity. This opportunity will be sent. You feel what I'm saying? Literally second week of December, the opportunity will be sent. But mind you, like I said, you still have that stowaway, right? In your little horse and carriage, being this Hermit in the reverse, right? So with the Six of Swords, you're going into this new energy. You're going into stable ground, whole new cycle and all of the things. But by the 15th, bam, there's a disappointment here. Now, I'm not sure, because of course, this is a general reading. I'm not sure what it is that this is going to be, because seeing how quickly this happens is ironic. So it kind of feels like to me where, like with this Five of Cups and Seven of Swords, it's almost like it's too good to be true because it comes too quickly. So as opposed to you sticking it out with this past situation, whatever that is, right? Or learning the lesson of whatever that is, as opposed to running away from it. It's kind of like simultaneously within the first 15 days, you run away from it and inadvertently run to it. But that's in essence for your highest good, so that you don't shortchange yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because with this Seven of Swords, it's really speaking to me, like why I say what you skip will trip you up later, because it's the illusion thereof of getting away with unaliving. I'll say it that way, because it's like you being in an uncomfortable situation and you kind of like sneaking out the back door, if you will. but it's like, because you didn't confront the situation head on, or you didn't confront yourself head on, you didn't deal with it, so now it's going to deal with you. And of course, that's extremely uncomfortable, but this is, of course, happening for your highest good. You feel me? Because this isn't something that you would want as a proverbial stowaway, you know? Because it's and this is the thing that I've been saying to everyone. It's like, those who are going to resonate with this, which, I mean, it's a collective type of thing, so everyone should resonate with this, but you know, they got some of us that's just in damn denial. You feel what I'm saying? But the whole point of this is needing to see, it's almost exactly like what I told you guys last month when I did the whole analogy of like why we're tested and like Adam and Eve in the garden and everything like that. It's like, it's that same concept of you being Adam in the garden and spirit asking you, where are you? You know, not because I want to know, because you need to realize what it is that you're freaking doing. Like, where are you? What are you doing right now? You know, because I feel it's almost like the sense of being on autopilot. And that's how it is that we miss out on life when you're on autopilot. So it's kind of like operating from this antiquated program, AKA mindset. You feel what I'm saying? That keeps getting you disappointed. So it's like this consistent pattern of every time something goes to shit in your life, you get this wise idea to run away from it or to get out of it. And you think that the thing that you're going to is going to be better than what it is that you left. But there's a need to wake up and realize you keep doing the same thing. Like, you keep thinking that about everything. Like, you keep leaving a job, you keep leaving a relationship, you keep cutting off a friend, you keep blocking this person, thinking, or moving to different cities or a new apartment complex, like whatever the case, or, you know, like buying a car, buying a house, you know, you keep thinking that going to this next thing is going to be the thing, because like the problem was the place you were, or the person that you were with, or where you lived, or the city that you were in, right? But you end up leaving that behind and putting all of your eggs into one basket, just knowing without the shadow of a doubt that this thing, like, this is what's gonna fix it, right? Like, everything's gonna be different with this thing. You feel me? And then when you get there, it's like, and it's like you manifest this in. It's like you leave one situation, a new opportunity always presents itself to you. And now you're like, all right, we're moving on to this new phase. And you always end up disappointed. But it's not making the connection between this Chariot and this Seven of Swords. It's the fact of like, how the hell are you getting there? You know what I'm saying? It's like, wherever you go, there you are. You know, and the whole premise, I feel, of the energy this month is the first 15 days at least are trying to get you to see the hand that you have in this, which is the same exact thing that I said to your opposite sign, Sagittarius, which you can also watch because that's a collective reading. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all in Sagittarius energy. But even more specifically for my Geminis, because that's your opposite sign. So I said the same thing to them, because them coming into the month was a Cancerian card, and it was the moon, right? And it has those light and dark aspects, right? Like the shadow and the light aspects, you know? And it's needing to see that if you don't see your shadow, you're going to project it onto other people. Like, you're going to see your shadow in everyone else. And it's going to feel like there's people who are, you know, doing Seven of Swords type of activity to you, but in actuality, you're doing it to yourself, because there's something that's not being confronted here. It's like the solution to the problem is to just go to the next thing. But it's needing to, like, for it to click that it's like, it's still the same thing everywhere. And that's because wherever you go, there you are. You know what I'm saying? So it's not saying in a derogatory sense of like, oh, you know, hi, what is my goddaughter song she always sings? Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. She's 4. But it's not saying that like, oh, you know, you're the problem, Gemini, like go wallow in a corner somewhere now. No, that's not what the whole premise of this is, but it's needing to see what hand that you have in your own demise. Because if you don't see it now, you're not going to see it later. You're not going to see it in the foreseeable future, because the thing that needs to change isn't your circumstances or the person that you're with or whatever. It's a level of awareness of what created the problem that made you want to leave in the first place. You feel what I'm saying? And it reminds me of a friend of mine. We're not friends anymore, but a friend of mine I had many moons ago, and she was a Virgo. And I remember her and I were having lunch one day, and she was telling me about like how she didn't have any friends, right? And like she was saying like, you're literally like my only friend. And I was like, oh, no way. And she's like, no, seriously. She's like, you're literally my only friend. And I was like, wow. I was like, well, why is that? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? Like, why is it that your friendships haven't worked out up to this point? And she's like, you know, it's the craziest thing. Like every single girl that I'm friends with, it's like they're so jealous of me. And I was like, oh, I was like, that's interesting. And she was like, yeah, she's like, they're so jealous of me because the friendship always ends with them telling me how selfish and how self-absorbed I am, and how I'm extremely self-centered, and how I'm a horrible friend, and how like you know, I always talk to them about my problems, but like I'm never there for them, and they're always, you know, sticking their neck out for me and being there for me, but I never reciprocate. And I was like, that's an interesting explanation for jealousy. And I was like, okay, fascinating. And as she's telling me about these different friendships, they were like across a span of years, like from high school to college to jobs that she worked at and things of the sort, different cities that she's lived in. And every female friendship she has had, past tense, they all ended for that same reason, you know? And it's like, after a while, I'm bringing it home, Gemini. I'm a Gemini rising, so you understand how I communicate. But anywho, but it's like after a while, you have to take a step back and start looking at the bigger picture. If you have had people who do not know each other, that live in different cities, towns, states, and provinces, okay, different ages, you know, nationalities, you know, socioeconomic statuses, right? If you have had all of these people who don't know each other to where they're not in cahoots and like having secret meetings about like, how can we terrorize this person, right? When you consistently meet that many people, right? And every single person is saying the same thing, there has to come a time and place in your life when you take a step back and really look at yourself, right? Because there's no possible way, right, that you just have some special energy signature, because you know we spiritual people here, because I be hearing people say that foolishness too, that you somehow have some special energy signature where every single person you meet in your life is just attacking you and telling you all of these ravenous things about yourself that aren't true. Like, you have to be realistic at some point in time and really look at yourself and see, am I doing that, right? But this young lady never did that, and did not see the connection between any of those things. And as you notice, I am no longer friends with her either, right? And why is it? It's because everything that she told me, that every single person stopped being friends with her for, which at the time I was like, I can kind of see little personality traits where that's a thing. But it's like over the course of time, it got really bad to where it was like, wow, this is really like a one-sided friendship, you know? And I'm like, I'm yet now another person who has said the same thing that every person has. My prayer is that this person realized it, but I don't know. But I'm saying all of this to say to you, Gemini, it's like, don't be that person, right? Because what I'm seeing here is a person who's continuously running from something, but you're not realizing that the thing that you're running from is yourself, right? So like I said, it's not saying that you're a horrible person or anything. It's literally just like with the example from my life. It's like this person is someone where she's not like a terrible human being. It's like she just isn't self-aware. You know what I mean? So it's like if she would have taken into account what everyone was saying and really looked and saw like, dang, I really do that. I am always like calling and, everyone's listening to me. But it's like when they call, it's like I'm kind of like, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, well, I see that in myself. So now let me start making changes in reference to that. Let me start engaging more when my friend is calling and they have a problem. Let me be more present, let me make it a priority. And little things like that start to shift and change. But it takes a great deal of self-honesty. And when we're operating in the Seven of Swords energy, we can't be honest with ourselves because we're too busy running away from the truth of the matter. But what you skip will trip you up later. So skipping, facing the shadow's always going to come right back and meet you, right? Because that's the whole purpose of why it is that you're here, So I feel like a lot of tears that have been cried or a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas and things of the sort that you guys may be experiencing, right? These are things that you can start to really face head on in the first 15 days of the month of December. And I feel like all of this is happening to prepare everyone for next year. It's like I told you guys, it's a karmic year. You don't want to do this type of work next year. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, moving right along. There we go. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Swords. Why all of this is happening? Because, dude, it's breaking your own heart. I look at the Three of Swords as your mind attacking your heart. But in this particular case, how Gemini's mind is attacking their heart is that there's an old, antiquated, self-defeating belief system and program that my Geminis are operating on to where it's literally causing you pain, misery, and woe. But I feel it feels to Gemini as if like life is coming at you. You know what I'm saying? Like all of this random stuff in life is happening to me. And I don't understand. People are attacked. My bosses don't like me and things of the sort. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of this stuff feels like it's external and it's coming to you, but it's needing, just like I told your opposite sign, Sag, it's trying to get you to see that you very much have a hand in this. You may not be aware of it, but it would require you to go into this hermit energy upright and to really do a deep dive. You know what I'm saying? In order to get clarity on this. Now, two things I will say for this that you guys know I will always say. Things like this is a wonderful time to get you a nice, friendly, local neighborhood therapist, right? But in the event that, you ain't ready to do that, that is the reason why my network exists, our sanctuary. It's like I post, readings and stuff like that over there too, but that's not the purpose of it. It's literally like a sister circle. It's a women's organization in which me and my entire staff are teaching women on stuff like this, on how to tackle things like this, how to recognize things like this, right? How to apply it to your life in a very practical, tangible way, as opposed to like trying to solve a problem with the same mind that created it. It's like a whole circle of women that are on the same exact journey that you're on, that are empowering each other, that are learning and growing together. So if you feel like something like that would be more helpful to you, because I typically, like with a lot of my clients or like my staff's clients and stuff, it's like we refer people to the network whenever we're seeing something that, like when we're working, one-on-one with someone, we refer that when it's something where it's not super, super serious to where you necessarily need to be in therapy, but it's something that would be helpful for you to work through on a continuous basis in involvement with other people. You feel what I'm saying? To where it's not like, okay, we need to process this like every single week. It's like, nah, it's like stuff like this is more experiential of how these things reveal themselves to you, because you'll run yourself crazy trying to figure this out in your mind. So that's my shameless plug. Come join our sanctuary, join my damn network. God damn it, son of a gun. The link is in the description box below this video. But anywho, Gemini, that has been your soul session for the 1st through the 15th of December. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends. You know what I'm saying? Whatnot, or whatever. Love your face, Gemini. Love your face. Freaking love your face. I mean it.